Good morning, everyone. I'm back. Today, we're gonna learn how to solve equations involving division and multiplication. In the last video, we learned the basic idea of equation solving, that we have to perform the same operation on both sides, and how to solve equations including addition or subtraction. Now, let's summarize the basic idea of equation solving. We have an equation of x minus 3 is equals to 2. So first, as we all know, this is the LHS, which means left hand side, and this is the RHS, which means right hand side. Now, first of all, we're gonna have to make x all by itself on one side of the equation. So for that, what are we gonna have to do? You're right, we're gonna have to add 3 for it. And when we've added 3, we've got x all by itself. Now, as we know, we're gonna have to do the same operation on both sides, so I've added 3 on the right hand side also. So I got 5. So from this, we know that x is equals to 5. So when I add x minus 3 plus 3, it turns out to be x, and when I add 2 and 3, I get 5. So now, let's summarize how to perform the same operation on both sides. We have a balance over here in which both sides we have an equal weight of 10 kg. But we have to take away 5 kg from one side like this. So now our balance would look something like this. We wanted to make it equal again. How would we do that? Well, you're right. We're gonna have to take away 5 kg from the other side also, like this. Now our balance would look something like this. So now it's equal again. From this, we see that we're gonna have to perform the same operation on both sides. Now let's summarize how to solve equations including addition or subtraction. We have an equation over here of x minus 5 is equals to 3. Now, as we know, we're gonna have to make x all by itself on one side. So how would we do that? We're gonna have to add 5 to x minus 5. So that would be x. Now, the second step, as we all know, we're gonna have to perform the same operation on both sides. So I've added 5 on this side also. 3 plus 5, which is 8. So from this, we see that x is equals to 8. Looks like our next example is related to addition. So as we know, the first step would be that we're gonna have to make y all by itself. How would we do that? We're gonna have to take away 5 from it. Y plus 5 minus 5. Now we're gonna have to do the same operation to both sides. So it would be 8 minus 5 also. So from this we see y is equals to 3. Because 8 minus 5 is equals to 3. Now there's something you're gonna have to be watching. Over here we have plus, so we're gonna have to take away the number from over here, which will be over here. And if there is minus like we have over here, so you're gonna have to add the number. Now what are these pairs called? Let's find out. They are called inverse operations. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck is this inverse operations? Why do we use it? We use them to undo any operation which comes in useful. So I'll tell you a few rules of inverse operations. Subtraction is the inverse operation of addition. Addition is the inverse operation of subtraction. Multiplication is the inverse operation of division, and division is the inverse of multiplication. So from this we see that there are two types of pairs of inverse operations. The first one is subtraction and addition, and the second one is multiplication and division. Now let's see how we can solve an equation including multiplication. Let's look at the following. Over here we have an equation of 4 times w is equals to 12. Can you remember the pair of multiplication? Yes, you're right, it's division. But first I'm gonna tell you some important side note which I have not told you. 4 times w is equals to 4w. Can you notice something different? Yes. On the right side, there is no multiplication sign. There wouldn't be any multiplication sign, as multiplication is the default symbol in math. So simply we are not supposed to write this times multiplication sign whenever you are writing an equation. Just write it write the number and the variable both together. So the next time you see both a number and a variable sticking together, make sure you remember it's being multiplied by each other. So this equation I can simply write 4w is equals to 12. Same is written here. Now we're gonna have to solve this equation by finding the value of w. 4w is equals to 12. What are we gonna have to do in this situation? You're right. We're gonna have to divide it by 4, like this. Now, if you don't know, I'm just gonna tell you right now, there are two ways of writing the division symbol. The first one is that we already know, 4w is equals to 4w divided by 4. This is the first way. And now the second way, we can also write it 4w as the numerator of a fraction and 4 as the denominator. This is the second way we can write the symbol of division. The same thing is written here. Now you might be thinking what this yellow line is doing over here. Actually, we're cancelling out 4 as they're both the same number, and which leaves out w. And now over here we have 12 by 4, 12 and 4. So the first way of writing this was 12 divided by 4, and the second is 12 by 4. Now you might be thinking why this 3 is here. 4 times 3 is equals to 12, like that. So that's why the 3 comes in the place of 12. 12 by 4. No, 12 by 4 will be cancelled out and 3 will be left out. So here, over here we have w left out, w, and over here we have 3 left out. W is equals to 3. It's just like this. W is equals to 3. Now let's see how we can solve an equation including division. Over here our equation is p divided by 8 is equals to 4. We can write the same thing in this form. P by 8 is equals to 4. What will we do now? we're going to have to multiply it by 8 so we can get p all by itself, like this. And now what would happen? This would work, it would be like this: p by 8 multiplied by 8 is equals to 4 multiplied by 8. Now we're cancelling out 8 because they're the same number, and 4 times 8 would be 32. P is equals to 32 because 4 times 8 is equals to 32. The same thing is written right here, but in a better handwriting. So now we have P by 8 multiplied by 8 is equals to 4 times 8. So P is equals to 8, like this. Sorry, P is equals to 32. Now let's do a few examples. Our first example is P divided by 3 is equals to 9. So let's write it once more. P by 3 is equals to 9. So now we're gonna have to multiply it by 3. P by 3 times 3 is equals to 9 by 3. Oops, 9 multiplied by 3. So 3 and 3 cancel out each other, and 9 multiplied by 3 is 27. So that means P is equals to 27. Let's see what our next example is. W times 4 is equals to 16. W times 4 is equals to 16. Let's divide it. So it's going to be W times 4 by 4. Let's divide it by the other side also. Now this would cancel out, which leaves W. And 4, if you remember the 4's table, 16 comes at the time of at 4. So that means 4 times 4 is equals to 16. So that would be cancelled out, and 4. W is equals to 4. Now let's do a few exercises. Our first exercise is W divided by 5 is equals to 4. So the first step would be to write the equation once more. So we'd write it like this: W by 5 is equals to 4. Now we're going to multiply it by 5. W by 5 multiplied by 5 is equals to 4 multiplied by 5. Now 5 cancels out 5. So 5 and 5 cancel out. So that leaves W and 4 multiplied by 5. So 4 multiplied by 5 is equals to 20. So W's value is 20. Our next exercise is y times 6 is equals to 12. So the first step would be to write the equation again. Y times 6 is equals to 12. Now we'd divide it by 6. Y times 6 divided by 6 is equals to 12 divided by 6. The next step would be that we would have to cancel out 6 and 6. And 6 and 12 would cancel out, leaving 2 behind. So y is equals to 2. Now today we learned about inverse operations, and we learned how to solve equations including multiplication and division. And be sure to watch the next video in which we will learn how to solve equations including multiple variables. If you liked my video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe.